Hey, welcome everyone. So welcome to a workshop. This is how you build your own GPT. So today, I have the pleasure to introduce Shawn Bearman. She'll be your host today, and she'll be the one running our workshop. So she is a serial entrepreneur and also a certified coach with 25 years of experience, and has been helping people produce radical results. And she's the CEO of Radical Coaching, founder of ineedcoaching.com, also director of training of development for the World Referral Network. So tonight, she's going to show us how to move beyond simply just asking AI questions to actually begin using it to create real business leverage. So during this workshop, she's going to guide us towards how to build up custom GPT that can help us understand your business, reflect your voice, help with content creation, follow-up productivity, and even internal systems. So of course, it's not a technical lecture here. It's going to be a very practical workshop to build something that you can begin using immediately. Although AI may not replace you, but somebody that knows how to use it for advantages, into their advantage, will definitely move a lot faster. So please let me introduce us to Shawn Bearman.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Raymond. Thanks. So, you guys, for those of you who didn't listen to any of that, as some of you zoned out, I could tell watching you. It's perfectly fine. Trust me, everything you need to know about me is going to happen in the next couple of hours. Okay. It might not even take us 2 hours. Just depends on how you guys personally are going to use the information I'm about to give you. Okay. And the first thing to know is we're going to do everything based on ChatGPT. You can do similar things on other systems. And I highly recommend that if you've never sat through one of Raymond's conversations about AI agents and how to use them using Claude, then you definitely want to sit down and do that. Okay. Because it's slightly different and it's way easier when somebody knows what they're doing. Okay. So he can absolutely explain that to you. Okay. But where we're going to start is, what is a GPT agent? And why would you want one anyway? So, my first question is, what do you already use AI for? So what are you already using? What are you already doing? How are you already engaging in AI? It's a question and I expect an answer because this is not television.
This is
Caller,
Michael.
Michael, go ahead.
Yes. So first, my internet connection is not that strong, so I'm not gonna be on video you know, to
Okay, we've
assist you.
already seen your lovely face, so that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
What do you
And
already use
so
AI for, Michael?
I use it for multiple things throughout the day. I'm a real estate broker,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, I I use it to prepare listings, provide me with reports on properties,
Okay.
and compose email, so different activities throughout the day.
So you use it to write content for emails and other things that you send out. You use it for research and gathering and report making for your field.
Yes.
Great. Two perfect examples. Colin, how are you currently using it?
Yeah, mostly I use it for coding.
Oh, great. Okay, good. Got it for coding.
Yeah,
That's my business mentor George's favorite thing to do with it these days is to code.
yeah.
All right. Benedicta, how are you currently using AI?
I use it to do some research, and so I'm a preacher, and sometimes what I do is I like the scripture. I ask it for the common theme that allow me to do some different researches and different books I need to read.
Okay, great. Awesome. Laura?
Also doing research and editing, but the other way I use it is brainstorming. Use it as a partner.
A very good brainstorming tool. That's a good idea. Very good. Cody, how are you currently using AI?
I use it to write code.
Great. You and Colin be buddy buddy.
hmm
Good. Sam, how are you using it? how do you currently use AI? Barbara Lee, how do you currently use AI? You both will have to take yourselves off mute for that conversation. Oh, got it. Okay, good. So here's the thing about it, okay? AI works best when you have a plan for it. Okay. And it can be used in more ways than any of y'all is ever using it. And when we first started, I guess 2022, when the conversation first started and we started testing out various different things in AI, okay, I was asked to break it. It's like, Shawn, could you please try and break this? Right? Try and ask it questions that it couldn't possibly know the answers to. So I don't know if you know this, but when AI first came out, it only had from 2022 and later. So in 2023, you couldn't access 2023 information. You could only access 2021 and earlier, right? So there was a gap in information that we didn't have. So it wasn't up to date, in use, and usable right away, if that makes sense. There was certain projects you could work on it, and then there was other things where it wasn't really capable yet. It was still learning itself, right? So inside of that, right, the one thing that we started asking is the things you wouldn't normally ask. For example, I have a friend who's about my size, right? Gentleman, never has done any working out, never didn't know anything about eating. That's not me. I know how to do it. I just don't. Okay. But he had no idea what to do. And he came to me. And I'm like, I'm going to be successful at that. No, let's go to ChatGPT. And I asked ChatGPT to create a 30-day starter plan, including videos, right? So that he could do short burst workouts that weren't hard on him because he could barely walk, right? And I gave him his whole history, all of his like issues that he deals with, and that thing spat out what he should eat, when he should eat it, what exercises to do, videos from YouTube showing exactly how to do the exercises, all for 20 minutes a day. So literally gave him a 20-minute a day plan. Now he's since lost 160 pounds. Okay, so clearly, right? I gave him my prompt and I said at the end of the 30 days, run it again, but tell it what you've done better since then, right? Tell him your new stats. Tell it, what foods you realized you hate, right? Like tell it everything and have it give you another 30 days. And he did. And he did it for like over a year and he lost 160 pounds. Okay. I have another friend who's been learning languages using ChatGPT. Created a GPT just for learning the language. Working very, very great. Okay. Now, these things have nothing to do with their businesses, but they're making their life amazing. Yeah, Cody?
Could you explain what you mean by GPT?
Sure. So in this case, I'm talking about the product called ChatGPT. Okay. And I'm talking about just asking the main feed on ChatGPT these questions. Okay. In this case, it was my friend is unhealthy. Here's his circumstances. I need to help him get better. Right. And then the second one, I can't remember what example I just gave you, but I have a third example. So I have a cousin who runs an HVAC company. Right. And he goes in and he fixes like central heating and central air conditioning. Everybody with me? Okay. He used to waste so much time because he does his work in an area where the average age is like 74 years old. Okay. And so he wastes a lot of time talking to lonely senior citizens rather than getting the work done. So he takes his iPad now, he sets them up in front of ChatGPT, a GPT that he built, and he says, ask this GPT any question you want about the work I'm doing. And he sits them down with this thing, and they spend the whole 2 or 3 hours that he's there, however long he's there, with his GPT instead of wasting his time. So he gets the work done twice as fast. You guys get this? Now, I would never have in a million years have thought of that. Right? Like that just wouldn't occur to me like, oh my God, that's a really good idea. Right? Like, I wouldn't have thought of that. And I'll bet you that the old folks' homes aren't taking advantage of it. Really. But we're here to learn all the different things. And when I say GPT, I just mean the regular feed. Okay. Today, we're going to talk about how to create our own GPT agents that have our voice and that can do things for us personally. And we're going to go through what that looks like in just a minute. And one of the things to remember about all of this, and a really important place for us to start, okay, my first point, here's the first important point of the whole thing. Do not build the wheel newly if something already exists. And I'm going to show you, but I guarantee you there is a GPT already built for anything that you might need. Okay. And even I didn't build my own marketing GPT because I found one that I loved so much that I just used that one instead. Okay, which I'll share with you. If you're doing sales and marketing, for example, you might build a GPT where that's all they do is sales and marketing. Because GPT agents built on skill set are more effective than generalized GPT agents. So in other words, if you went to ChatGPT today and you opened it up and you typed in, I need to know, I have these 15 things in my fridge. Please give me a recipe that I can make with it. It's going to be no problem doing that. It will do that no problem. Okay. But if you were a chef who made your own recipes regularly, and you wanted your client list, your database, your list of people to have access to recipes that you yourself have created, you could create a GPT and upload all your own personal recipes. And so the people on your list could literally go to your built GPT and ask their questions, and your voice and tone and writing and answers would come back out of that GPT. Pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's important to know is, what would you want your GPT agents to do? So what would you want them to do? What are some of the things that if you had somebody else to do it would make all the difference in the world for you? What is one of those things? Hello? Am I on TV again? Michael?
Thank you. I would want my GPT to post on social media, to market for me, to
Right?
post on social media, and maybe even answer emails from my clients,
Great.
and send them specific properties that match their criteria.
Great. So a
And set,
GPT that knows your client base,
Mhm.
right? GPT agent that knows your client base, knows what they're looking for, and sends them appropriate listings, right, that are pointed at them. That's great. Awesome,
Thank
Michael.
you.
Thank you. Barbara Lee?
Hi, you may hear children in the background. So for me, what I'm looking like what you were just talking about is getting all my content and everything into one place. So I don't have to keep answering the same freaking questions all the time, which I love my client, don't get me wrong, but I've been doing it for 20 years and it sounds very rote now for me. And
Yeah.
I want it to still sound fresh to them when I talk them through something. And that's what I
Yeah,
want to
very
create my
good.
GPT for.
All right, good. Awesome. Good example. Colin?
I want to create a GPT that answers questions about keto diet and all that good stuff. So
Really great.
yeah,
Yeah, great idea.
eating
Great idea.
healthy. Yep.
Benedicta?
Yeah, I run a non-for-profit organization, so I would love to have create a GPT that um, kind of give me some ideas. I also love like the posting of social media, making sure that the people are aware that we are in front of the audience, in front of my supporters, and that they're aware of what is going on at all time, at least, yes.
Well, how about an agent GPT that runs your donation department, period? And
Yes,
another one that
yes.
runs the marketing for that.
What'd you say?
And another one that runs the marketing for it,
Okay. Gotcha.
right? Because
Yeah.
communicating with donors and running a donor program is very different than creating a social media campaign,
Okay.
right? Those are very different activities. And
Okay.
GPT works best, ChatGPT works best, and agent GPTs work best if you get very specific about the roles that you want people to have. But
Okay.
you can actually ask ChatGPT that question, right? You can say, you give them your history. You say, okay, my name is Benedicta. I run this nonprofit. Here's the greatest things about our nonprofit. Here's the things that aren't working as well as I would like. What agents should I create with ChatGPT or Claude, if you end up talking to Raymond? What agents should I create, okay, that will best serve my client base and get regular, consistent donations coming in the doors for us to run our programs?
Hmm.
And literally, it will spit out probably 10 to 15 ideas pretty immediately. Okay. Okay. So we forget that sometimes asking the questions to GPT and then taking the answers and making those answers into a new question is what works best, at least with the ChatGPT product. Does it work that way better with Claude Raymond as well?
I mean, well, Claude everything can be pre-built. So like you actually have like a file we can read all our information from. So you don't have to
Yeah.
re-prompt it. So it has
I
that
meant when you're
same-
creating in the beginning, you ask it questions, it asks you questions. Like I always go to my GPT and say, this is what I'd like to do. What questions do you have for me that if you had the answers to those questions would make this easy peasy pudding and pie, right? Or some version of that. And GPT always asks me some really great questions, right? So when we're building our GPT, when we're building our agent, we can use ChatGPT to get the particulars of information and knowledge that we need. Now, let's go back to my point number one, okay? There already is, most likely, a GPT built that will do what you want it to do. In fact, I don't even go to Google anymore, right? If I don't know, this just happened the other day. I have this headset, okay? I remember the name of the headset, but I don't have the little booklet telling me how the headset works. Okay? So I went to GPT and I said, I own this headset. It has this serial number on it, and I need to know, can it do X? Right? And I think one of the questions I was asking is it okay around water? Like, could I wear it while I'm doing my laps in the morning? Right? And literally, it popped out the actual guide for this headset and showed me where to find the information I needed in the headset, in the guide for my question. Okay. So, what's really great is that GPT, when you give it space and give it the answers it needs, right, it will actually put out some pretty amazing material. But garbage in, garbage out, as they say. So the first thing to take a look at is what are the tasks that if you had them taken over with would make your life easier? So right now, take out a pen and a piece of paper and write down. For Michael, it'll be, I want a GPT that will connect to my email, that will answer emails for questions, that will do X, that will do Y. You want a list of those things. What are all those things? So for me, content writing for all of my various different areas that I'm a specialist in, right? So a lot of my social media gets written through ChatGPT. And I give it a list. I say, here's the things I want to talk about, right? Here's the things I want to go from. Here's what I'd like to see happening. What questions do you have for me? And then GPT will ask me a list of questions. Now, one of the things that I do, you don't know this yet because Raymond didn't mention it, but I am the publisher of the Elevate newspaper. Okay, Elevate News. And Elevate News is articles that are designed to give practical wisdom to people in a complicated world. Okay, all of the articles are designed to lift people up. Right? It's not a bad news newspaper. You won't hear anything bad in there unless they're giving you, this happened, it was bad, here's what to do instead. Okay, and inside of that, I created a Chat GPT agent called the Elevate News Lab. I'm going to show you how I created that in a little while. When I created it, I had to upload to the creation of it what Raymond calls the knowledge base, which is everything I needed them to know about Elevate articles and what we wanted. So I uploaded the Elevate contributor guide, the guide we give to all contributors so that they know how many words we want in our article and what else needs to be there in the article and whether we want a picture and whether we want a caption for that picture and what that looks like. Uploaded all that. Then I uploaded some really great articles that I found uplifting. So I uploaded a ton of samples of uplifting, great articles that were designed to teach people to think. Okay. Then I went looking for what else do I need to upload so that this GPT can pop out any article, anything they input into it, it can pop out the article to look exactly the way we want it to look at Elevate. So now when someone joins as a contributor, if you're a writer, let me know. We're always looking for contributors. When someone joins as a contributor, I can give them the Elevate Launch Lab. They can upload their ideas, they can upload their articles, they can upload anything they want, and that GPT agent will pop out that article in exactly the format I need, including the regular keyword tags and the meta tags, the meta title, the meta description, everything we need for that article pops out. Now, can you see how much easier that is for a contributor? In fact, they can go to that GPT and say, I want an article on blah, 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 and tell it what he wants. And literally the GPT will spit out the article on that subject, exactly what they wanted. Now, we claim to be an AI generated newspaper. So people know they're getting AI generated stuff when they're around my paper. But I wanted to make it easier for the contributors. So I created a GPT to make it easier and GPT agent to make it easier. Okay. All right, so who has their list of things that they'd like a GPT to take over doing? What do you write that you don't like to write? How many of you would love to do a blog as long as you didn't have to write it? Right? You do one if you didn't have to write it? Yeah, that's a really great thing. Having a content writer GPT agent that writes in your tone is really useful. And of course, you can train the regular GPT, but when you build a GPT agent, that agent, you keep uploading more and more stuff of yours into the same agent. Remember, who was it that was talking to me, Laura, that you had to keep going in over and over and over again? Was that you or Barbara Lee? Can't remember which one of you it was. But one of you had to keep going in over and over, and you just wanted to not have to go in over and over and start fresh the next day, right? Yeah, there's a way of having it. In fact, one of the things I did was I built a GPT agent on a particular client. What do I mean on? I uploaded everything that client had ever sent me, all the pieces of coaching I'd ever given that client, all of their understanding documents, all of their strategic planning documents, uploaded everything to it. So now instead of going to a regular ChatGPT, I go to their specific GPT because that thing already knows how they think, already knows their political inclinations, already knows everything that they need to know about these guys. Make sense? So when I'm working on a project with them, I use that specific GPT to work with them. Makes it a lot easier. Now, I know some of you aren't coaches, but there are distinctions that you have inside of the work that you do. And if you upload those just distinctions to a GPT, literally you could gift the people, your clients, anybody you work with, you could gift them with a way to talk to you when you're not around. Whoever said they use it for brainstorming, great reason to use GPT. It'll give you all kinds of ideas that you weren't going to have yesterday. All right, so who has a list of at least 5 things on your list that you would like to see GPT doing instead of you? Let's throw out some more examples of what you're seeing, okay, would be a great thing for you to use that with. How many of you would post every day if you didn't have to write the posts on social media? You would post way more often if you didn't have to write them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's definitely an area. I created something called the 90-day visibility engine GPT. What is that? Well, You know that whatever you put out there, people aren't going to remember it 90 days from now, right? Because we have the attention span of goldfish for the most part. You know how it says Ted Lasso says, be a goldfish? Don't let the feelings stick around, the hurt feelings, be a goldfish. Okay. Goldfish don't have an attention span of very long, right? So we want to actually repeat your content, have a set 90 days worth of content that just repeats on reoccurring all the time. Okay. And what that content does is it teaches the people in your network to think like your perfect customers. We call it teach them to think content. We're teaching them to think. We're teaching them how to be perfect customers for you. So I built a very special GPT. You go to that GPT, you say, okay, I want a 90-day visibility engine for my nonprofit. Here's what are the questions you have for me about my nonprofit? The agent's then going to ask you a series of 14 to 16 different questions. And out of your answers, it's then going to pop out what it calls a creative brief. And it pops out that creative brief and it says, okay, here's your company, here's what you're looking for, here's your target audience, here's the product or service or offer that you have, blah, blah, blah. It's going to pop out all the information so that you can check and make sure that it's going to do what you want it to do. Let me give you an example. I tell my GPTs, my visibility engines, that I want 60% of the content to be video content. So that when it produces it, it produces scripts for my videos. I tell it that out of the 7 days, I want it to produce 5 teach them to think posts, 1 brand awareness post, and 1 call to action post. Okay, so I give it some parameters of what I want out of the questions it asks me. And I say, yes, that's what I want. Some people, maybe they want, 3 posts about this, 3 posts about that, and 1 post that says this. Right? You can personalize it. Then once you get that creative brief, you say, okay, produce the first weeks of Then the next thing that you do is you ask it to produce your themes for your 3 months. So it'll give you, depending on your industry, it'll give you a group of themes. So month 1 has a theme, month 2 has a theme, month 3 has a theme. By the way, I always ask it to produce 2 extra weeks of content because some quarters have more than 12 weeks in them, right? When the months are longer and stuff. So I always have it create 14 weeks instead of 12 weeks, me personally. Okay. So then you're in there and you're doing that and you're giving it the information and it pops out your first week. It gives you an image prompt for the 2 posts that need images and it gives you video scripts for all the videos. Which you could just sit and talk, called the talking head, what I'm doing right now, talking head video. You can just sit and do that. You can use it. There's plenty of AIs that you can use to create video. I use Canva. I think Canva is a really easy, quick way to produce material. I'm happy to show you guys that at another time, but you get the idea. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to search for GPTs in ChatGPT, because like I said, let's not remake the wheel if we don't have to, right? So you're going to search for what you're looking for, and I'm going to show you GPTs that I use, and I'm going to pop them the links to them right in the chat, so you can download them and put them into a document for yourself, okay? All right, let me just make sure I've got up open what we want to show you. Because I've got about 50 different things open. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm so hard on my computer. All right, let's go to the Zoom and share my screen. All right, you can see my screen, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good.
Very tiny.
So now, I'm going to put this down here. When you want to look for a GPT that'll do what you want, where you're going to find it right now is currently under this More section. You'll see here, I have several that are pinned that I really like. This is the one I use for my marketing a lot. I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to send that to you in the chat. It's called the 9-Figure Marketing Mentor. I use it a lot for content, marketing content. Oops, that's not what I want. I need to get over to the Zoom thing because I want to put it in the chat for you guys. What's going on here? Hold on, everybody. Where's my Zoom thing? Do you know when something's missing and it shouldn't be missing, but it's currently missing, which is my toolbar for Zoom? Hold on one sec, you guys. I got to try and, oh, there it is. Chat. Okay, so this is one for the 9-figure marketer. It's really great. Now I'm going to move this down here, and I'm going to move this over here. All right, so, but you're looking for one that does a certain thing. So for example, I use Go High Level as my marketing platform, as my sales and marketing platform, my CRM. It does everything, okay? And I was like, I couldn't figure out how to do something. And this was before I got the premium support level over at High Level. So I went here, I clicked on more, and you see it says GPTs. So we're going to go to the GPT section. Why is it not doing that? Let's try again. Okay, so here's the GPT section. Now you can search. So I searched for Go High Level because I wanted something that knew about Go High Level. And look, the very first one was Go High Level Guru with 50K plus chats. I was like, great. Clicked on that, asked my question, got my question answered. All right. What are some other things that you could search for? You could search for, what do you call it? MLP? Isn't it called MLP, Michael? Something listings, multiple listings.
MLS. Just
MLS.
Oh, MLS. Yes, thank you.
Real estate listings and property descriptions, right? So these are the things that he could use that people have already developed a GPT for, right? For example, okay? But we can put in whatever you're looking for and what that looks like. Maybe you're looking to have somebody write really great responses in email. You can put that in here and you'll find your favorite thing. Now you see a bunch of these here. These are all ones I've created. So let's talk about creating. Don't create anything on your own until you've searched here first. Search here first and they don't have it, then by all means, create it on your own. But I would steal what already works. If it already works, then you already have it. I'm going to pull this visibility engine one up for you guys because this is mine. And we want to make sure that we give it to you. So give me 1 second. I'm going to give you this one. This is so you can create your own visibility engine for 90 days and 2 weeks. So it's 14 weeks, basically. All right, fabulous. Now we're going to move that back here. So any questions about searching for your own GPT or what that looks like? So test it out.
Okay,
Right?
and it's just chatgpt.com, and then
Yep.
we go to more, and then you
Yep.
can ask that question. Okay. All right.
And then you click on GPTs, and
Uh-huh.
it's going to give you
Keep on going now.
403 error is probably just me because I make it work so hard. You have no idea how hard I make this work. But then you can ask for whatever it is that you're looking for. I use a Canva one too. When I don't know how to do something in Canva, I use the Canva one. I go to it, I say, I want to do this, and I can't figure out how to do it. It tells me exactly how to do it.
Awesome. Okay.
So almost all software has a GPT that somebody's built around it. Look at this one's fitness, workout, and diet. Image generators, right? Code copilots. Okay. So there's lots that you can try. And occasionally you're going to find, oh, I don't have exactly what I'm looking for. Barbara Lee, go ahead.
So in the paid version, right? ChatGPT, because I don't have the plus, but this, so because my more only says images.
Great. Yes, in the paid version.
Thank you.
And it's worth it for the $20.
Oh, yeah.
They keep doing it. All right. Anybody else questions about how to find or just search for GPTs of what you need? All right, great. So that's the first thing. So then the second thing is get really, really clear on what the end outcome is that you want. And then look, what heading in your operations would that fall under? Well, I'd like them to do my social media. Well, that's going to fall under marketing. Great. So it goes under marketing. But you might have 3 different GPTs that you've built for marketing and that you use. For example, I use the 9-figure marketing mentor for copy, and then Maverick You know, here's what I did, you guys, is I went and put in my favorite marketers' information and I uploaded it into a GPT and I called it Maverick. So it has information from Ryan Hormozy in there. It has information from Dan Kennedy in there. It has information from Sabri Subri. So all my favorite online marketers, all of their concepts I uploaded into Maverick. And so when I put something into Maverick, I say, is this viable? Maverick's going to run it past all those people. Let me give you an example. Let's test it out because it's been a while since I tested it out. Sorry, I got to keep moving you guys' pictures around because it's in my way. Dang it. So maybe I'm going to say something like, I want to start my own homemade ice cream company. Is this a viable thing for me to do? I live in the Dominican Republic. And literally, it will go in and it will look against, could this actually be functional and viable business against what these guys have already said? Okay. So now it's searching all the different knowledge that I uploaded. It's searching all of that stuff to see if what I'm saying is viable. It's probably going to have some questions for me. So now it's checking to see, is there local demand for ice cream? And what's the regulatory cold chain realities? Like, is it real or is it going to be too much of a hassle? So it's going to do all that. It's going to check all that. Then it's going to start helping me create, okay, what the marketing is going to be for that ice cream company once it determines its viability. And it will tell me exactly what it thinks of everything I've done with it before. Oh, don't you remember you tried this before? Right? Or so-and-so tried this and it didn't really work out too well. So Dan Kennedy Marketer, this is one that my business partner loves using. He loves Dan Kennedy stuff, so I used his Dan Kennedy stuff a lot. And then you'll see the Elevate News Lab here. Let's look at a couple of the other ones that have been produced, that I produced to actually, and what it took to actually produce them. So when you're in there, you can click on this thing that says My GPT, and it's going to give you a list of all the GPTs agents that you've built on whatever topic you want. So let me see. Remember I said I built one for a client. This is the client one. I have one that does all the Wise Women event copy. So we have an event called Wise Women. It's every Thursday. You should come, Benedicta and Barbara Lee and anybody else that's a female on here. And all the marketing material that I write, the copy that I write, I use that one. My ideal client profile builder. Well, this one's pretty decent. You might love this one. I'll probably give that to you guys. Okay. It literally will ask you the questions and help you determine whether or not, like, who your actual avatar is and even help you name the avatar. So you're clear. Okay. And then we've got something called the Business Breakthrough Blueprint that we're just launching. I've got something called the Reset Process that helps disappear upset. So this is the one that I'm going to use to show you how to build your own. So when you first go in and say, I want to build my own GPT, let me show you what that looks like. Are you guys seeing a blank screen for GPT now?
Yeah.
Right. So when you click this more, you're going to click GPTs and you're going to click this thing that says create up here in the right-hand corner. And it's going to give you a blank configure page. And in that blank configure page, you're going to give it a name.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what you call it. You could call it Harold. It's not going to care. Okay. Especially if you're the only one using it. Then you're going to give it a very short one-sentence description of what this GPT does. This is my marketing agent and writes on my marketing copy. This is the agent that I use to answer emails. This is the agent that we use to, figure out our schedule for our workers. Whatever it is, okay? Now, in instructions, you're going to want to tell it what you want it to do. However, it's important that if you already have data, like for example, I created something that will help people use a particular distinction I created called the reset process. But I had to upload instructions and examples of using that in, what is it called? The transcript. So I uploaded transcripts of me doing those exercises with people. And yeah, I uploaded the files right here. So you click on upload, it's going to say, okay, what files would you like to upload? And you're just going to upload whatever it is you want to upload. Okay. I don't want to upload, so let's get out of that. Crap. You guys are in the way again. You know you're in the way all the time, right? Okay, here, cancel. Okay, so what we're going to put in here is instructions. We want this GPT to do X, Y, and Z, but you want to keep in mind there's a limit to how many characters in here. It's a big limit, like 4,000 or something, but it's still limited. Better if you put in either into document or PDF and just upload everything that you can upload right here. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So as much as your knowledge as you can upload. So I've uploaded instructions, handouts, and transcripts of me doing it so that it was very, very clear on how it was to be done. So let me show you over here. So I call it the reset process. My description is it helps you disappear upset in 5 minutes. Okay. The purpose is to guide users through the reset process, which is a structured conversation. It has the core principle in it. And then I uploaded, okay, some documents, example conversations, and a copy handout of the reset process that I give people. So now it has everything in there. And then it said, okay, what are the conversation starters? In other words, what are these little boxes? What do you want to say in the little boxes? So I decided on help me disappear and upset. I want to stop being upset about something, run the reset process with me, or I'm really upset, help. So they can just click on whichever one they want. Now, my clients aren't allowed to go to bed at night if they're upset about anything until they use this. Why? Because when we go to bed upset, our psyche, our subconscious is trying to figure out a way to get us out of being upset the whole night. It's trying to figure out how to get us complete all night long. Benedict, I have a different one that somebody else created for the completion process that I'll give you. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing, right? Anything can be put in this if you give it enough knowledge and you tell it exactly what you want it to do. Now, this reset process can be done with someone as young as 6 and as old as 96. Okay, so it's open to anybody. Did I give you guys this one yet? Okay, then hold on. Let's go back out of here.
Shawn, you say that some okay, that note is are we gonna get that note from Raymond?
From where? Sorry?
I mean, you said that the note, we shouldn't worry about taking that because I'm not.
Oh, that's right. He's going to send you the transcript and the recording. No worries.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And in fact, just to make sure you get that, go and put your contact information in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and make sure you get on his list because he's got really good stuff that comes out. So I just gave you the reset process one. Okay.
Yeah.
So the reset process, I want to give you the completion process one, Benedicta, just because you're here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab that for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
For those of you who, like me, believe getting complete is vitally important so that your brain can go to work on good shit instead of getting complete, this is for you. Great. I got to go find my friggin' little, here it is, chat thing again. Here we go. There you go. So now when you look, what is it that if you completed it would make all the difference in the world? Bring it here. No problem. Okay. Remember, GPT agents are designed based on your own parameters, right? So for example, if I went to GPTs and I put in Hormozy, right? I would get anything that's been built that's exactly about him or about his stuff. There's a few of them, you see? Now you can also use Hormozy as a verb when you're getting when you're doing your marketing with your marketing GPT. You can say Hormozy this, please. And it will literally go and double check everything you've done to make sure it aligns with Alex Hormozy's principles. Cool, right?
Cool.
You can do the same thing, in almost anybody that's known as a guru and has more than 1 million followers probably has their own GPT or something similar. Okay. Like, for example, this one has 50,000 conversations happening in it where you can get coaching that's based on his 2 books. direct insights from those books, right? So you can open the GPT and you say, I run a nonprofit and I want to create a GPT agent that will act as my donation department. What are all the parameters that I should have in that GPT to make sure my agent is doing everything that I need to do?
Hmm.
We'll see what it says, right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to run what I just said against Hormazi's, the knowledge it has on Alex Hormazi. And it's going to say, here's what I think you should do. Very good. So it gives you some questions, right? What is it that you want to pursue, and what systems do you want it to work with? You want it to work with your CRM, with an email platform? How much authority should it have? Very good. Now you're started. You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So questions, yeah, buts, what abouts right now about anything I've shared so far? Well, I put some drops in my eyes because my eyes are getting dry. Yeah, buts, what abouts, what ifs? Shawn, I'm totally got it. I can go build my GPT right now.
Sure. Yeah. No.
All right, well, let's look.
I've never heard this part. I mean, I'm excited. That's all I can say right now. And I'm thankful that you're doing this, Sean. So thank you so much.
Great, you're welcome. You're welcome. So this outcome, before you build anything, you need to answer, what is it supposed to produce? Not help me, because that's not a job description. Okay? That's what people say right before they create what's called a digital swamp. Your GPT needs a very specific job. Is it supposed to write articles, create follow-up emails, summarize client calls, prepare for sales conversations, build your 90 days of content? What is it that you want it to do? Make a list of everything you'd like it to do, because it can do way more than you think. Okay? So for example, don't say write social media content. The clearer the outcome is, the better the assistant's going to be. Write social media content's kind of like a weak sauce. You want to say, ask the user about their business, audience, offer, tone, goals, and current visibility problem. Then create a 1-week content plan with hooks, post copy, calls to action, and suggested image prompts. Produce only 1 week at a time and wait for feedback before continuing. So you see the difference between those two prompts? Completely different, right? One is a wish, the other is a process. Process, depending if you're American. And AI loves process. It does not love vague emotional fog. Okay? Most bad AI output comes from people giving it half a thought and expecting it to return a full strategy. That's not AI, that's delusion with Wi-Fi. Okay? All right. And remember, we talked about building that knowledge base. So here's that's kind of the part that a lot of people really want to skip. The actual build is not the hard part. The hard part is gathering the knowledge that your GPT will need as source material. It needs your stuff, your frameworks, your offers, your worksheets, your sales page, your articles, your emails, your transcripts, your customer journey, all of that, your rules. If I ever write this phrase again, I will personally unplug the internet list, whatever that is. Like, I've given my GPT a list of things I never want it to say or use. Like, I don't like ellipticals. Don't ever use ellipticals with me, right? The dashes and stuff like that. I don't like that. Okay. This is actually where the real work is. Most people only give ChatGPT one sentence and expect it to behave like it has been apprenticing under them for 10 years. And it hasn't. So you have to train the thing. Okay. So remember my Elevate article writing GPT. I uploaded article samples, formatting rules, tone guidelines, SEO expectations. I uploaded a whole bunch of stuff, right? If I was building another coaching GPT, I would upload whatever process I had, the worksheets, the scripts, the distinctions, and transcripts from real conversations. Because GPT needs to see how that work is actually done. Otherwise, it's just going to guess. Now, 80% of the time, its guesses are pretty good, but it's still a guess. Okay? It does it with, by the way, when AI guesses, it does it with the confidence of a man explaining childbirth, right? Like, there's only so much you can explain, right? Okay? So don't make guesses. We want to feed it the right material. Garbage in, garbage out. Better garbage in, prettier garbage out. Actual knowledge in, useful output out. That's the game. Okay.
Hmm.
So let's talk for a minute about your own personal voice. A lot of AI content often sounds like it's written by someone that's trapped in a corporate retreat with unlimited herbal tea, right? Like it sounds a little airy-fairy sometimes, right? And, it'll say things like unlock your potential in today's ever-evolving landscape. No. Okay. No one talks like that in real life. Your GPT needs to sound like you. So you want to give it your voice. Upload your best emails, any articles, any social posts you've written, any training posts you've written, any sales copy you've written, your rants, if your rants are useful, right? Like my my business mentor, George, he's a ranter. He likes to rant, but his rants are pretty useful most of the time. All right. So we want to give him that. So, for example, my voice is bold, practical, direct, funny, slightly edgy, and useful. Because you want to challenge people without being cruel, right? That's my voice. I like to avoid all corporate fluff. I avoid all fake inspiration. I avoid sounding like a brochure. I like to keep the writing sharp, clear, and action oriented. That's giving GPT a direction. But I also tell it what not to use. I don't want overused emojis, right? I do not want it to write like a LinkedIn influencer who just discovered caffeine. I don't like giant paragraphs. I don't want invented facts. I don't want to sound condescending. I don't want to use certain words like synergy and empower and those kind of things. I don't like those words. Okay. And this all matters because your GP is not just producing words, it's representing you. Okay. All right. So I know we spoke about this a little bit already, but here's the thing. Okay. You want to build your GPT based on roles for yourself. Like I built a GPT that was just home assistance around things around my house. So it can know the kind of recipes that I like. So it knows how often I like my house cleaned. So it knows certain things around home. The reason why that's important is because when my sister visits or for my guy, sometimes I'm not around or I'm not available to answer questions. They can go and ask it of the home GPT, and the home GPT probably already knows the answer that they need. Right? Because it knows what I usually shop for. It knows what we like to have for dinner several nights a week. Like it just knows stuff about our life now. And it just makes it easy if people can't reach me. Okay. So, what is the role that you want it to play? I would start with something really simple like writing your social media content. Use the 90-day visibility engine and do that. If that works for you and that's all you need, great. Don't build yourself a bunch of GPTs you're never going to use anyway. That's a waste of your time unless you just like playing with it. Right? Like Colin and Cody, they like coding. That's why they use it for coding because they like the whole fascination of can I code something and have it actually work? Trust me, they love it. They get off on it. That's why they keep doing it. Nope, because they find it fun because nobody codes if they don't find it fun. I don't know anybody that codes unless they find it fun. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're creating something that's going to work for you. And you develop those roles. Start with one. When it looks like you're asking it to do things that aren't part of that role, go search GPTs and find another one to do that thing, that second thing. Okay. For example, there's a big difference between copy that's written on a website and copy that's written in an email. Those two things are different kind of content. There's a big difference if you're writing to your specific target audience or if you're just writing to the general public. Those will be different. When I'm writing SOPs, standard operating procedures, that's a lot different than writing my social media content. So I have a GPT that's simply written just to do standard operating procedures because I have a client who needs a lot of standard operating procedures. So I had to create something that worked for me. Okay, so look, what would be the first one that you want to create? So everybody look for themselves. What would be the first one? And put into the chat, what are you going to name your first GPT agent? What are you going to name it? Benedicta, if
Yeah.
you had all the money in the world to make all the difference that you wanted, what
Mhm.
would be your experience?
What will be my experience?
Yeah.
Wow. Or what would I have accomplished? My experience would be that everyone in the world has clean water. That would be how we.
So
Um,
call the GPT a
uh-huh.
water creator.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, call it something that's going to inspire you. Great.
Mm,
And what would you want that GPT to do? So in your case, Benedicta,
hmm.
right? I would say I want that person to be in charge of all of our donation communications. So all of our emails and texts where we're asking for help from our community.
Mm.
Okay. And I would start building with that. But first, before I even did that, I would search the GPT area to see if there's already a GPT built for charities. I'll bet you there's several of them. Okay. Might as well take advantage of the work that people have already done instead of remaking your wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I've said that a few times, but I trust me, I could not say it enough. Now, I love processes and I love social media and I love just playing on that stuff. No problem. But anything I don't like to do, I have GPT do it first if I can. Anything. Exactly, Laura. There's a GPT for almost everything. Like, I'm really good at marketing content. I've got 25, 30 years experience. I still use the nine-figure marketing GPT because all of their experience total together is 3 times as much as mine, right? And it was built on all of my favorites anyway, so I might as well take advantage of it, right?
Sean is so fun because taking this class because I just finished the gala and it was very, very wonderful in terms of people that came in. A lot of people came in. And so now I'm left in being able to gather. Some people just came in, of course, fill their name right there because we had it open. People can pay at the door as well as
Now you want to send a
online.
thank you email out to every single person that was
Then
part of it.
yes, so we created
Use
a
the
letter, and I
GPT to
said,
write that.
the letter is created, and I'm just like, oh my God, how am I going to go through all these people? I want to be able to make sure that at least by the end of the week, at least by Saturday, everybody has that, and that's what I'm struggling to today. Like, oh my God, we have the
Well,
letter
make sure you
created.
meet with Raymond, okay?
Okay,
In fact,
okay,
Raymond's going to show you something in a couple of minutes, like
okay,
in another minute or so.
okay,
He's going to show you a demo of how to use Claude as part of that process.
okay,
Okay, Raymond, now's a really good time to do that, I think.
okay, okay. Wow.
Okay. All right, awesome. Thank you, Sean. So I definitely can kind of show you the demo of basically what I can do. Of course, with Claude, there's definitely a lot I can do. And one thing is definitely automations, right? So it's great to have a bot. I mean, it's great to have like an agent do things for you, but what I think I can do is kind of help can install like a piece of Claude into your computer where you have all this kind of pre-built into your computer. So it can actually start automating and doing work independent for you um, while you sleep. So that's something that we can do with Claude. So let's see. Yeah, so this is something I'm actually building for realtors, but I definitely can show you what this looks like.
Mhm.
Basically so to understand other aspects they can do with our automations. Um, so what I call this is called an AI operating system. So essentially you can have this installed into your computer and you start talk to it and actually can understand your voice, your style, your brand, everything about your company. And of course, there's more tailored for realtors that I'm currently working for my market. But just to give you an idea how it works. So, for example, in the morning, wake up in the morning time, everything you get done will actually get done, whether you're social media content all done, ready to be posted, or you can automate to be posted for you. Right. And certain leads, you can actually have automate the replies for the leads that you have coming in, whether it's emails or different avenue. And of course, if there's market research, anything that you need to do as well, you can actually do that for you even before you actually start work on Monday. Right? And the nice thing about this is you can really, it really gets to know you, understand your voice and your style. So it can be as simple as, oh, hold on a second. For example, you want to do Facebook. After going through an onboarding process, which is usually around up to 3 hours long, depending on how much content you have to give basically your Claude basically your operating system, and you can actually start making content for you. For example, like Facebook post. There's something you can create. Knowing your voice, knowing your style, and you put it in there. You do replying to your leads, talk about updating you in terms of what's happening in the market. And of course, you can always customize this too. So you may want to also, for example, you want to know like, hey, how is, for example, people I've contacted or how many people I've contacted this week. You can get a report for that. Or even a dashboard about like, hey, how much did I make actually? You can connect an app to that and basically find out how much you earned this month. So things like that you can actually implement. So it's actually a nice dashboard that will give you a fine summary of what's happening inside your business. And this nice thing about this is you don't have to be tech savvy. So definitely that can be fully installed into your computer. Don't have to figure it all out. Everything is pretty much a text file that we install to your computer, and it can start, helping you get things you need to have your business to have this running in your computer. And of course, there's more things to add on, like kind of, I think like as Shawn mentioned, like you can talk to it to kind of understand your contacts, understand your brand, your business, anything you need, you can have that built in. So, and of course, your brain clones to kind of understand like, more about how you talk, your style, who you are, so it can actually start creating content just for you. And there's other things like marketing, research, and there's additional things you can add on. So you don't have to make all the prompts yourself or to make your own GPTs. And very simple process to set up. So usually within a few hours, but once again, depends on the size of your business. You can answer questions, you can upload files to it, you can feed information for a business, websites. I'll take all that information and basically kind of store it for you. And of course, this is a little bit more tailored to realtors, but kind of depends on your business. I'm going to show you how much you can save per week or even per month by running a system like this. And if you'd like to see if this is something that's popular for your own business, you're often welcome to reach out. I can provide my link below. And also have a little welcome gift to everybody here as well too. This will be, so this welcome gift actually has 35 prompts or 35 GPTs they can actually start using, includes a direct link. So you can click on it and actually takes you to a link. So you can start, saving yourself some of the trouble of finding all these different GPTs that's on market. These are some of the more popular ones that they can start using. So here's the link towards that. Our contact information is there as well. So you're welcome to reach out and connect. Okay, and there's. So if there's any questions somebody has here. Let's see.
I have a question.
Yeah, hey, Bodie.
Hello. Could you customize that for other businesses outside of like Realtor?
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Yep, 100%. That's the great thing about this. It's very customizable, and yeah. So usually in terms of the strategy call that's in the link, it's meant to kind of find out, what do you want to, what kind of like pain what's kind of happening in your business that you want to address. So maybe some of the examples may not be something that's kind of relevant to your business, but it's
I recommend that everybody books a call with Raymond. Raymond, you put some information so they could book a call, right?
yeah, that's right. My link would
Yeah.
be in this chat. I can put that in here as well.
Great, thanks. Just book a call and, find out how it could be set up. Because it doesn't take much. And once you set some certain things up and you set them up properly and you get some assistance in setting it up properly, it makes life so much easier.
Mhm.
So much easier. All right, questions. Yeah, buts, what abouts? Raymond, can you call on any other questions that there is? I'm just going to look and see if I make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, Barbara.
Just a note that the link says something's not right. Like I had to log into my Microsoft first, and then it said something's not right, so it's not letting me in. So I don't know if it's me or you. If someone
In
else
that
could check.
case, I'm gonna email that to you, but in the meantime, I'll drop my contact information to the chat. So you definitely can connect with me there as well. Hey, Barbara Lee, you have a question?
No, I was actually trying to open it just like to see if it
Okay.
works, yeah. But yeah, if you can email it to us, that I put my email down as well. That would be absolutely wonderful because I do want to have a conversation.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Also connect.
All right, so a few more little things, okay? Here's your homework. Do not go and build 10 GPTs today, okay? That is entrepreneur avoidance dressed up as productivity, okay? So pick one repeated task that you have in your business, just one thing that you repeat and you're having to do all the time. Maybe it's follow-up emails, maybe it's article writing, maybe it's social media posts. I do a lot of client summaries, onboarding, preparing for coaching calls. Pick one thing that you do over and over and over again, and then build one GPT to do that role, provided that you can't find it when you search, okay? Give it clear instructions, upload useful knowledge, teach it your voice, test it, use it for a week, and then improve it. The goal is not to play with AI. The goal is to turn your best thinking into a repeatable system. Because when your knowledge becomes reusable, your business stops depending on your memory, your mood, your inbox, and whether you had enough coffee to legally operate as a human being today. Okay. So AI isn't magic, it's leverage. And leverage is how small businesses punch above their weight. And we really need to do that as small guys. Okay. So stop asking AI to perform miracles with crumbs. Train it properly, use it intelligently, and build something that actually helps you make money, save time, and stop reinventing the wheel every Tuesday. Okay. Because I know some of you do that. Okay. If you don't love doing it, stop doing it. Train an AI to do it for you.